So it stops or does it just go back and forth?